Okay, everybody, it's Monday, August 20th, 2018. It's the regular city council meeting. We're going to start with a roll call vote. Alderman Poff. Here. Ferrari. Here. Waldorf. Here. Lukosius. Here. Radke. Here. Sapienza. Here. Payton. Here. Ballard. Here. We'll stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have no public comment cards for agenda items. We'll move to a motion to appoint a temporary chairperson for tonight's meeting.
I'd like to appoint Alderman Putoff, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Presentations tonight. The first presentations from Recreation Board members Gina Wallen and Linda Derzinski regarding the playground equipment. If you two nice individuals would come up and take the podium and tell us what you would like to do.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm Linda. This is Gina. Hi. We're on the Park and Rec Board. And we took it upon ourselves to spearhead the project of starting to replace some of the equipment in the park. We decided we'd start with swing sets. We were originally going to do 3 this year, but with the disc golf, big hit, let me tell you that, course out at Baker Lake, that took some of our money, so we're going to do 2. We decided Centennial Park and McKinley. In Centennial Park, we will be replacing the swing set furthest to the south, closest to West Street. Right now, it has 4 swings on it. We will be putting in 6 swings. Gina has copies of what the newer swing sets are going to look like. They're the more modern, up-to-date ones. And then at McKinley, we will be replacing a 3 swing set with a 6. And I think the only thing we're really going to need possibly from the city is to spread the mulch once it is delivered and put in place. That should be the only thing. Yes. We're getting it from Specialty.
Just work with Jeff King with that.
Right.
And they'll be installing. You have the vendor.
The company will be installed, or they have their own installer.
Great, great.
And I think Steve McElhaney is supposed to be getting in contact with you, because prior to it, we'd like to get the surface, it has to be leveled and the equipment removed, and he said he would be a part, but get with that with him.
He said if you give him the okay,
He'll come and do it.
So when will this be done?
We're hoping by the middle of September. Perfect. The swing set is supposed to be delivered to the installer company
August 28th or 29th, and I'll get in touch with him.
No, it's not. Yeah, and I believe it doesn't really involve any approval from the council. It doesn't change the atmosphere of the park or anything else.
They asked us to come just to make sure it was okay.
Yeah. And again, I think the council has encouraged you again to spend the money that you have in the budget, and we appreciate that. And
This is the start. We're hoping every year that we will replace a couple of swing sets and then keep moving on.
okay. Any other questions?
The only question I have is the wood mulch legal, and I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We went through the company and make sure everything, that's why we're having them installed, because everything will be legal.
How old are those swing sets? I know they're older than him.
They're antique.
Washington Park here.
No, Mike.
Wow. You guys did the parts.
Alderman Sapienza had ropes on a tree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The next presentation we have is from the Illinois Small Business Development Center at the Starved Rock County Alliance, and Amy Lampert is in charge of that. She'll be giving a presentation tonight. Typically, the council has given $10,000 towards the Illinois Small Business Association, and again, we wanted to find out, Amy, exactly what you are doing with that those.
First of all, thank you for having me this evening. This is my first time before the council, and I'm very, very pleased and honored to be here. My name is Amy Lambert. I'm the Executive Director of the Illinois Small Business Development Center at the Starved Rock Country Alliance. The Small Business Development Center, we provide no-cost, confidential, one-on-one business advising to entrepreneurs, small business owners, and people who are trying to develop growth within the region. We basically serve three different types of people. The first type of person that we work with is someone who has an idea. They have an idea for maybe a product or a tool or some new design that they would like to create and bring to market. We help them protect their ideas through copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, and patents, and then help them to commercialize those ideas into something that will create jobs and create a livelihood for them. Then we work with new and pre-launch businesses. So these are basically people with dreams and plans to start a new business. We help them to put together a viable business model. And then if we have a viable business model, then we help them to put together a business plan so they are ready to go to market and they stand a good chance for success. And then lastly, we work with people who currently have small businesses who may be looking at some type of challenge. They're trying to go into a new market. They may be looking to raise sales. They may be looking at employee issues, or they may be looking to transition out of the business and what they're going to do for their next steps. And we directly help them, again, through no cost, confidential, one-on-one business advising. The SBDC, our funding comes from the state through the Illinois Small Business Development Center and federal through the Small Business Administration. Those dollars are then matched, so whatever comes to the table from the city of Peru is then matched through the dollars that come state and federal. For the last year, we have been in operation, and these are the organizations that came in to help raise the funding that we then brought to the state and federal for match. We drive small business growth. So when I first arrived, I'm again new to this region, very, very new, been here for a year. The very, very first thing that I did was start to build a team of subject matter experts, because I'm one person. I'm not going to have all of the expertise in the world to answer questions. So the very first thing that I did was go out and recruit people who had specific expertise that I could then rely on and bring to the table to advise. So we handle everything from assisting people with do they understand the ordinances that are in place for the businesses within the city? Do they understand the tax implications of what their business structure are? Have they decided what their business structure is? More importantly, do they have a spreadsheet that shows them what their projections are? And if they don't, how can we help them to build one and help them to understand what they mean? So a year ago, when I arrived, I went on a tour and went out and spoke to all of the different Rotaries in the area and all of the different organizations. And a lot of these slides that you're going to see, like this one, were the slides that I went around talking about last year. These are some of the metrics from 2011, 2012 of what the Small Business Development Center does. The SBDC is responsible for helping businesses achieve $100,000 in sales about every 3.8 minutes, and a new job every 7 minutes is created. $100,000 in capital every 13 minutes, and a new business every 36 minutes. Now, these were stats from 2011, 2012 for SBDCs all over the nation. And the very first thing that I would always say is I'm really behind. But what we've achieved this year has been, to me, one of the greatest successes of my life. We drive small business growth. So a year now into this, what does that translate to after all of the activity that we've put in for this last year? Well, we saw 108 clients throughout the region. And as you can see, about a third and a third and a third of each are where they are in their journey status. So a third of them are coming to us with ideas, and a third of them are coming with plans and dreams, and a third of them are coming with businesses. So they are all across the board in their journey of business ownership. We're also dealing with a lot of different industries. How many people want to open a restaurant? Well, if you look, at least a quarter of them are walking in the door with some type of food-focused business idea or business that's currently in operation and needing assistance. Our second largest market is services, and these run the gamut from healthcare services to accounting services. And just because they're an accounting firm doesn't mean that they aren't having issues with marketing. Regardless of what their expertise is, there's so many different services and things that we assist with. So 108 clients is what we have seen from July of last year through June 30th of this year. Our clients launch. We had 17 business starts. Actually, we have more than that, but those are what we could document, which means that they came back so we could document them. 17 business starts across the region, and they're broken down, four in the Bureau County, 4 in LaSalle, 1 LaSalle County Rural, 3 in Livingston, 3 in Ottawa, 1 in Peru, 1 in Streeter. The numbers that we're seeing in Peru, this is a funnel. And when we say we have 108 clients, and a third of them, actually 2/3 of them, are pre-opening the doors, the number of people that I'm seeing in Peru is quite impactful. In Peru, we're seeing 19 clients of those 108 that are coming here in this building. We help our clients to become finance ready. So one of the larger projects that we worked on this year was in Ottawa for a bed and breakfast, and we've secured financing to help Ellen Arnold Mitchell and her husband and another couple to create the Pope House Bed and Breakfast. They're going to be opening early next year. But this was one of our success stories. It's in the back of that, the back of the annual report. Capital funding is a big thing that we focus on, helping people to the access to funding that they need to start their business, continue operations, whether they're needing cash flow assistance or they're looking to purchase new equipment. What are their options? And we help them through those decisions. We also work with the local banks, so that we had a lenders forum earlier this month where we had the SBA come down to explain the new debentures for SBA loans. They were recently increased from 20-year debentures to 25-year debentures, and that's a big deal when we have large potential business impact. And we have 2 of those deals going on right now directly for Peru. We help clients create jobs. In 2017 to July 1st of 2018, the SBDC assisted our clients to create 36 jobs for this region. I'm proud of that. I'm thrilled about that. I can't wait to see what we do in year 2. Those jobs were across the region, and they were at every level for their organization, whether they were the actual business owner or they were employees that were coming up with them. One thing, though, I do want to go back, make sure that I focus, is on our client's launch. When I went around and did the presentation about what we do, what the SBDC does and assists with, one of the statistics that we put out there is that an estimated 59% of all pre-venture SBDC long-term clients do go on to start businesses. And that drives some of those metrics that we are very focused on, new jobs, new businesses. But I want to take a moment just to focus on the delta of that. The 59% of all pre-venture SBDCs that open business, well, the thing is, what about the 41% that don't? And that's one of the more important parts of the job that I do, and that the SBDC business advisors do, is I'm here to do 2 things at the end of the day. I'm here to help build good, strong businesses, and I'm here to help stop bad decisions. Those 41% that do not go on to start businesses are just as important, if not more important, than the ones that do. And sometimes we're the only voice that they're hearing that's saying, don't do this. Look at your numbers. Or I see a big issue that is in your business model that you're not addressing. We're the only voice that can stand there and help them to see what it is that's going to cause them challenge, because they go into it with rose-colored glasses. The clients that work with us who currently have businesses, on average, again, this is 2010 and 2011, the average sales increase that businesses saw was 4.3. But if they were working with the SBDC, we could document a growth of 18.9% in general. We help businesses who are trying to achieve goals, specifically for the goals that they're trying to reach. Another success story that is in the booklet is on a business expansion and a rebrand that we did for Music Suite 408 as they transitioned away from just music into fine arts. So we did a rebrand with them, helped them through their strategy of what they wanted to do to move to the 408, becoming 408 Fine Arts Factory. We helped them to create a new website. We helped them to look at their expansion and how they presented that information to new potential clients. And they saw an increase of over 200 new students in the last year. That's a 40% increase. And that's going to drive new programming. And that's what we do at the SBDC. We also help them reassess their business sometimes. When I said earlier that we have businesses that are transitioning out, we have people that are thinking about letting their business go and finding the next owner for their business. We have quite a few of those. But sometimes, like Brian McIntyre, they come in and they say, I've had this business for this long, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do next. And my question for him was, well, what do you want your legacy to be within this business? And he thought about it, and we talked about it, and then he went off and came back 2 weeks later and said, you've reignited something. I see the potential of this business, and I'm not done. And one thing that I also want to mention about this is that when we think about entrepreneurs, when we think about people who are driving new business, we often think about Generation Y, Generation X, Generation Z, the younger generations that are coming in and wanting to start new businesses. But I'll tell you, we have quite a few potential business owners and potential entrepreneurs that are coming in that are way older than that. That they're looking at rewirement instead of retirement. And what they could possibly do next is a new business. We also help people with established new businesses to understand what their real problems are, and to help them with some guidance in how they approach those problems. This is a picture of Melinda Vesley. She's with Empowering Minds Counseling. She came in, her business was skyrocketing. She was doing absolutely fantastic business, but she was having issues with a particular service provider and didn't know how to overcome them. So we talked through, we looked at what the issue was, what the bottlenecks were, and gave her pretty much exactly word for word what she was looking to get done. And because she had that specific understanding of what services she needed, when she approached a new provider to get those taken care of, the savings almost paid for the provider for the year, because she didn't waste cycles, didn't waste billable hours that she was ending up paying for. This year you said, what am I going to do with $10,000? Well, first of all, we're going to keep on providing services. I mean, since the beginning, 108 clients, but I'm telling you that we're getting just as many new clients as we did last year this year. And there was a 2-year backlog of people that wanted to have assistance. So the first thing we're going to do is keep on seeing clients. That keeps me busy in itself. But we've also expanded our training offerings. Last year, it was my first year in the role, and we put out a How to Start Your Business every month. And this year, we're putting out multiple different classes. We had our lenders forum last week. Your business idea is a business model canvas. After some feedback from the bankers who came to the lenders forum, I think that one's going to go out both to bankers and to entrepreneurs. It was a tool that they hadn't seen before. How to start your business in Illinois, organizing your business, creating an effective business plan, marketing your business, funding your business. There's a program called Profit Mastery that assists entrepreneurs in understanding their balance sheet, their income statement, and their cash flows. We're going to start putting out for January. And then Growth Wheel is a tool that helps us make sure that our time with clients aren't just conversations, that the time that we spend are actually driving decisions that are then driving actions. SBDCs, we generate more revenue than we cost. Again, this is 2010, 2011 data. But for every dollar that was invested in the SBDC, the federal government saw $1.93 in business taxes and $2.82 at the state. And how do I stay busy? Well, number one, I love my truck. The SBDC prior was housed at Illinois Valley Community College. We are on the move. We are completely decentralized, which means that I am in a different location every day of the week. Today I spent the day in Bureau County. Tomorrow I go to Ottawa. Wednesday, Streeter, Thursday, Livingston County, and Friday I spend all day in Peru. Thank you for the use of the office. Not the police station office. So we're on the move. We're completely decentralized and responsive to phone calls and clients in that manner. And that is the end of my presentation. Other than, so when I interviewed for this position, I think that they hired me on May 16th. I was already in transition of moving. I was going to move to Galena and had this opportunity. So I was able to move on the 22nd of May last year to this region from Peoria. I'm a small town girl. I was raised in Canton, Illinois, if you know where Canton is. Actually, even more rural than that, if you know where Monterey is. It's a lot like Little House on the Prairie, but meets Star Trek, because my dad is an incredible man. So Little House on the Prairie meets Star Trek. I have to tell you that after 25 years in Peoria, this feels like home. The ability to go from small city to small city feels like home, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening.
Any questions from the council? Again, Amy, thank you for your time. I think we all agree that small business is really the strength of our community and certainly the value of our economy. Jim Coughlin is here too, and Jim is a volunteer. Is there anything, Jim, you wanted to add?
No, I certainly hadn't planned
You're here,
to
so
you guys and gals, but I would like to say that Amy has done a terrific job in 1 year. I mean, she comes from outside the area, and what she's tried to do is bring some personal advisors that have business experience primarily in the area. So we like to think we can bring something to the table for people that are starting businesses, acquiring businesses, or are ready to retire like I thought I was doing. So, you know, it's with gratitude that Andy asked me to assist, and as she knows, I'm more than happy to help in any way I can. Thank you.
Later on the agenda, there is a motion to look for a contribution, so we will have a vote on it. Thank you. Do we have a motion to receive the minutes of the August 6th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Ferrari. All in favor?
Aye.
We have the financial reports, treasury report, city clerk's report, general fund, miscellaneous funds report, utility fund report, sales, home rural use, and telecommunication tax receipts, and the Peru Recreation Fund account summary for July 18th. Is there a motion to receive these reports?
So moved. Second, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Payton. Is there any discussion? I think one of the things we want to refer to is the very positive sales tax report that we received through the month of May. You see the city is up 231,000 year-to-date. You're looking at about an 8% increase. So that is fantastic news for retail. We understand people are spending, and again, we're working hard to create more and more retail opportunities. Okay, we have a motion from Alderman Radke, second from Alderman Payton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Activity reports, approve volunteer ambulance service activity report. Is there a motion to receive those reports?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Alderman Ferrari made the motion, Alderman Waldorf seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Finance and Safety Services, Alderman Radke, would you take us through disbursements tonight?
Yes, Your Honor. Total disbursements for August 22, 2018, as presented, $343,381 from the general fund, $44,416.41 from the insurance fund, $31,836.03 from the garbage fund, $220,596.10 from the motor fuel fund, $687.29 from the recreation fund, $2,021,444.60 from the utility fund, $2,205.40 from the landfill fund, $5,901.34 from the airport fund, for a total of $2,670,468.17. I move this report be received, placed on file, and the bills paid in the usual manner.
I'll second that.
Alderman Radke has made a motion, second by Alderman Payton. Could we have a roll call vote?
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
Alderman Ferrari, would you handle the new police patrol vehicle tonight?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to make a motion to authorize ordering and purchase of a new police patrol vehicle under Illinois state bid programs, with either sale or trade in a vehicle being replaced. I'll make that a motion.
Motion by Alderman Ferrari,
Second.
second Alderman Radke. Can we have a roll call vote?
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
Alderman Payton, would you lead us through the approval tonight of a contribution to NCICG?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve a $3,000 contribution to the NCICG toward the local fair to match the 50/50 annual planning grant from the U.S. Department of Commerce and Economic Development Administration.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Payton, second by Alderman Radke. Any discussion on that?
This has proved valuable in the past. We do have NCICG used them in the past for grants, and I expect us to do so again in the future.
City engineer, that's something that we've used quite extensively.
Yeah, we continue to use NCICG. Currently, we have them contracted for a few projects in the city of Peru, one splash pad project where they're providing grant administration, as well as our east wastewater treatment plant flood wall project. And we're also working on some additional projects with some grant funding sources.
Thank you. We have a roll call vote for that.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
On the agenda tonight, we have that $10,000 contribution to the Illinois Small Business Development Center at Starved Rock County Alliance. Is there a motion in effect?
So moved.
Second, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Payton, second by Alderman Ferrari. Any discussion on that? Okay, please roll call vote.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
Alderman Ferrari, you want to lead us through the contribution?
I'd like to make a motion to approve a $250 contribution to Horizon House Road to Independence campaign.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Payton, to approve a $250 contribution to the Horizon House Road to Independence campaign. Is there any discussion on that? Have a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
Members, anything else from Finance and Safety Services? Okay, we'll move to Public Services. Chairman Waldorf.
Thank you, Your Honor. Alderman Lukosius will talk about the motion to seek quotes.
Yes, tonight I'd like to make a motion to seek quotes for 4 bundles of 2-inch PVC pipe for the electric department.
This is basically conduit, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I will second that motion.
Motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf, for the 4 bundles of 2-inch PCV pipe. Any discussion? Have a roll call vote?
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
Chief King, do you have anything? Chief Murphy? That's all from Public Service, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a report of City Attorney ordinances and resolutions. Special Attorney Herb Klein.
The only thing I have tonight is a inducement resolution, and we've done a couple of these in the past for the pending new downtown TIF. Renegade Motors LLC is planning to acquire 1428 Fort Street in Peru, which also includes 1412, which is a vacant lot next door, and considering relocating their business there. And this resolution just marks the time, as the other ones have done, that any TIF costs that they might incur, TIF eligible costs, if we end up adopting the TIF and this property is including, would be eligible. So it doesn't obligate the city to anything, doesn't commit to anything. I know they've had some conversations with Clerk Bartley about their project, and I had a brief conversation with one of the owners as well.
So, this is the building that's catty-corner from the lot catty-corner from the police station? Is that-
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Is there a motion for the resolution tonight?
So moved.
Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Sapienza. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton. Ballard.
Herb, now you're here, I did want to address a letter that has gone out to taxpayers and residents, and it's the proposed City of Peru Downtown TIF Financing District. And that has gone out to some residents who may be confused about it. But again, can you enlighten a little bit of what's going on?
Yeah, we're required by TIF Act to send that letter to all those residents within the TIF district. And the map that's out there now is a study map, is a proposed map. The map can't get any larger than that without spreading all over. It can get small. So typically, you have to notify those residents. This really doesn't have any effect on them. It doesn't have any effect on their tax bills, even in TIF districts and not in TIF districts. And typically, the TIF is used for, and we go over here, for economic development. Commercial businesses like industrial businesses, public infrastructure improvements you want to have done. It's typically not used for individual residential property. So even though their property may be end up included in the TIF district, many times that's because we might want to use TIF dollars to fix the sidewalk in the street in front of their house. And in order to use TIF dollars for that, we have to include the property. So, and, we'll get into that a lot at the public hearing that's coming up. But certainly, if any of you have any questions about the map, or want to talk about it, let me know. We can sit down and look at specific properties.
Yeah, we've already got some calls in the clerk's office, so I've already briefed everybody in there. We have a copy for residents. We had a couple walk-ins today asking about it. People concerned that they didn't want to sign for their certified mail. What should I do?
Yeah, and unfortunately, the statute makes us do that. They talked about changing it a couple times to make it regular mail, but it says certified mail. But that's about things, obviously, but.
So we're prepared, and the calls are coming in, so there should be no issue.
And again, it's not the council's intention of creating a new residential TIF by any means.
No, it's, and we
And the public hearing is at 6 o'clock on September 24th.
Yep. Okay. But if any of you have any individual questions, just certainly give me a call or let me know, and we can talk about it. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Hey, Corporate Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I have a resolution authorizing execution of a lease assignment and assumption agreement between the City of Peru Key Outdoor, Inc. and Link Media Midwest LLC. This involves a property the city recently acquired on the southeast corner of Shooting Park Road and Illinois Route 251. There's a billboard on that property leased by Key Outdoor, and Key Outdoor is selling their assets to Link Media Midwest and has requested the city enter into the lease assignment and assumption agreement.
I move that we adopt the ordinance.
Second.
Motion by Alderman
It's a
Rags.
resolution.
A resolution, the motion is,
Corrected. I move that we adopt the resolution.
thank you. Duly noted. Alderman Radke and second by Alderman Ferrari. Is there any other discussion or clarification?
What is the annual amount the city receives from the lease? Okay, so that times 12 is about 6,000, maybe 7. I can't do the math in my head that fast. So that's probably more than the property tax that we received on the property. I don't know. Would you know? I don't know. No, the property tax is more than we would have received to the city? Would be exempt to the city. Okay. Well, we filed the property tax exemption. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions? Can we move ahead with a roll call vote?
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Next, I have an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a cost-sharing agreement entered into by the City of LaSalle and the City of Peru to conduct a cost and operational feasibility assessment to explore and pursue the sharing of multi-jurisdictional law enforcement services and constructing and operating a centralized, jointly staffed multi-jurisdictional law enforcement facility to serve as a law enforcement headquarters, a potential 911 dispatch center, and a jail facility. This is the same agreement in substance that the city previously authorized and passed, except as we see in the later on today in the unfinished business, Oglesby is being removed and the Shared Services Committee is being expanded to 16 members with 8 members from each City of LaSalle and City of Peru.
And again, the cost sharing will be LaSalle and Peru involved in that. Is there a motion to approve that ordinance?
So moved, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Sapien. Any questions or further discussions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Motion approved. Finally, I have an ordinance granting a variance under the zoning ordinance of the City of Peru sought by the petition of Damon Adrian concerning property located at 2710 Market Street, Peru, Illinois. It's to construct a driveway, and he's obtained approvals from the contiguous real estate owners, as well as approvals from the Zoning Planning Commission Chairperson, Douglas Peterstedt, City Engineer, Building Inspector, and both aldermen of the ward where the property sits.
I'll make a motion that we accept this ordinance.
Motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Putoff. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Okay, any proclamations tonight? Unfinished business. Attorney Schweiger?
Yes, I have a motion to approve acknowledgement of termination for cost-sharing agreement entered into by the City of LaSalle, the City of Oglesby, and the City of Peru to conduct a cost and operational feasibility assessment to explore and pursue the sharing of multi-jurisdictional law enforcement services and constructing and operating a centralized jointly staffed multi-jurisdictional law enforcement facility to serve as law enforcement headquarters, a potential 911 dispatch center, and a jail facility.
Do we have a motion to accept or acknowledge the termination of the cost-sharing agreement with Oglesby?
I will make that a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Lukosius. Any other questions? I again wanted to present at least my opinion, that Oglesby handled it in a very professional manner. They were excellent to work with, and we certainly appreciated all the input that they had into the process. And we know that Oglesby is doing what they feel is best for the city of Oglesby. And again, we acknowledge their agreement with terminating. Is there a roll call vote for that?
Yes, Your Honor. Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Sapienza. Peyton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Any other unfinished business?
Yes, I'd just like to ask, Eric Carls, I was approached yesterday at the picnic by a few people, and they're worried about the landscaping at the splash pad. I know we had no rain, and I explained, is that under warranty?
Yes, that's correct. So, we'll address it again, this fall and then again in the spring. So it's definitely all still under, warranty, as well as, we're withholding retainage on each of the contracts. So, all of those items, landscape items, restoration items, any maintenance issues that we have in the first year, we'll certainly address them, as they come about.
Thank you.
In addition to that, in unfinished business, city's been reviewing ways to get rid of unwanted properties or place them in responsible hands. We've noticed that in the finance department, we've noticed a lot of lawns that were taken care of or properties that owners have vanished or under the, at least ownership of the city of Peru. So we're going to list a number of those lots, and the city's going to review them to see if there are potential developers or neighbors that would want to take hand of that. Doug, could you kind of tell us a little bit of what the process would be for that?
We're going to, we have a master list of all the city-owned properties, and those that are vacant, you're going to get the aerials on all of them, and then you can determine which ones you want to put out for sale. The property in question, I sent a memo out on the size of it, and, you know, the previously raised residence on there. And I think all of these, for the future best interest of the city, you should put covenants and restrictions in the deed. Like the one property there on 7th and Buffalo, it's within a single and two-family residence district, but it's only 54 feet wide on Buffalo by 108 on 7th Street, so that should only be a single-family residence. And in the covenants and restrictions in the deed, you can put, you know, the quality of residence that you want, the size, and the whole bit. On that one, if there was a new residence to be built on there, they would still need variances along the 7th Street, because that's abutting the street, so that side yard, even if the front of the house is towards Buffalo Street, would require a variance in the 25-foot yard setback. But everything that you want on the sale of these and the type of structure can be handled by the covenants and restrictions in the deed. Then the procedure for sale, you could sell it for not less than 80% of the fair market value determined by a state certified appraiser, or you can put them out for bid. And I think I would look at each one of the properties individually to see what, if anything, you want on there. Now, some of these properties may be too small, and, you know, just you sell it to the neighbor, you can put a covenant restrictions in there, you can never build any structures on it. Maybe another one, you said, well, you can only put an accessory structure to the existing single-family residence on the adjoining property, but they have to be sold together in a combined unit in the future.
Okay.
That's what I'd approach each one.
Yeah, I think the city's working hard to clean up a lot of properties, and this is, I think, a logical step for us to move ahead on.
Does the city have anything in our zoning ordinance that, if I wanted to build a duplex, or someone wants to build a duplex, I have no desire to build a duplex. If someone wanted to build a duplex, is there a minimum square footage that each side, I mean, you can't build a duplex where each half is 300 square feet, right?
No.
So that already exists.
You have minimum lot area, that's why even on that 7th and Buffalo, your minimum lot area, and that zoning classification is 7,000 square feet. And
here you have less than that. So in any event, that would require, hearing before the, planning and zoning commission, and variances, certainly at least on, minimum lot area and on the, setback off Seventh Street. But every zoning classification has minimum square footage for lot areas, it has floor area ratios, and it has, required setbacks.
That 80%, Doug, is that state law, or was that in our ordinance? Because, I mean, some of these lots are so little by the time we get appraised and everything, you know, I mean.
Well, the discussion of my office with the, ASM was that, we would put together the list and then, talk to a couple of appraisers to see if they can appraise 10 at one time, so we get a reduced cost, you know. Here's the appraisal, and here's the lots we want, but, you know, this parcel is X dollars, parcel 2 is X dollars, otherwise you're exactly right, you know. You're not gonna pay $350 for each, $400 for each parcel, and they're just vacant lots.
Okay, anything else in new business? Okay, in unfinished business. We'll move to new business. Tonight, we have a motion to approve the mayor's appointments to the LaSalle Peru Shared Services Committee. Mayor Scott Harrell, Alderman David Putoff, Chief Douglas Burnaby, Finance Officer Justin Miller, City Engineer Eric Carls, Administrative Assistant Melissa Carruthers, Police Sergeant Art Smith, and Citizen Representative Joe Hogan. And again, that is the committee that the mayor appointed to review all the cost and operational agreements between the City of LaSalle and City of Peru moving into shared services. Doug, did you want to comment a little bit on that?
No, it's pretty self-explanatory in the intergovernmental agreement. LaSalle will be appointing an 8-member committee too, and it will pretty much mirror the positions with the city staff and city representative. I anticipate they'll do that next Monday night at their next meeting.
And the next step in that process would be what? Moving towards a building facility?
The 2 engineers from each city will work with the architectural firm and the public safety firm to, well, you can explain it, Eric, I guess, better than I can on that. Go ahead.
Sure. To date, we did some work and some legwork with the chiefs previously, and we did a study on needs assessment, working with them to determine how much space. A lot of that information is still going to prove to be useful to us, even with LaSalle and Peru moving forward. So our next step is we're going to process that information and start developing a floor plan for the building. We will do a couple site visits to some existing facilities. And then once we have that floor plan developed, we'll start to put some numbers to the building. And we'll bring those numbers back to the committee for discussions and move forward from there. And then another step in the process that we'll have to start soon is our QBS system for selecting a site engineering firm.
And then at the same time, Chief Uranich and I, and then Sergeant Smith, and then an officer from LaSalle, and then the police liaisons will be meeting, coming up with the operational plan that we would propose. And then obviously each city's finance officers are going to be actively involved. So by the time we would get to the next phase, we'll be able to, the committees will be able to meet with both city councils and make a very detailed presentation as far as architectural costs, operational plans, and then the finance guys will say how it will affect the cities, which we anticipate to be very positive from a financial standpoint. So there's several things that will be going on in the background, the building, the operational, and then the financial component. So.
Any other questions from the council? Okay, do we have a motion tonight?
So moved, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Waldorf, a second. Second by Alderman Lukosius. Please give a roll call.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
We have two motions tonight. Motion to authorize seeking applicants for a part-time receptionist position for public services, and also a motion to authorize the hiring of a full-time public services office assistant to fill the vacancies created by retirement of administrative assistant. Kim, could you give us a rundown on the personnel involved in that?
Sure. So there's going to be a vacancy within the Electric and Public Services Department due to retirement. So we're going to replace that individual with a full-time Public Services Office Assistant, and there will also be a vacancy then with a part-time receptionist. So we will go ahead and seek applicants to fill that position.
Any other questions? And Kim, please explain that we're really downsizing from an economic standpoint of these positions. And can you tell us how we're approaching that?
So we're downsizing because we do have a part-time receptionist right now that we're anticipating will fill the full-time position that will be vacated in the electric department. We'll also be replacing a Tier 1 employee with a Tier 2 employee, so there will also be a financial savings there.
Okay, we're going to put those together. Do we have a motion?
So,
Motion, Alderman Walder, second, Alderman Lukosius. Any more comments, questions on that? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke. Sapienza. Payton. Ballard.
Approved. Motion to authorize the city clerk to execute the State of Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program 2018 Non-Regulated Vendor Agreement. Clerk, can you enlighten us on what that is?
This is an annual program that provides energy assistance for those eligible applicants for both winter assistance and summer assistance. So we work closely with their office to help them screen their applicants to make sure that they are indeed residents of the properties and that they qualify for the assistance. There's usually an effort by the agency to require the applicants to make good faith payments before they receive their assistance, and then of course make sure their accounts are in reasonable standing in order to qualify for that type of assistance.
So if you're an individual that needs assistance, who should they call?
Well, there's it's called LIHEAP, is what is most known as locally, and there's an office in LaSalle for that type of assistance. They can call the clerk's office, obviously, and we can provide them with those bits of contact information. Most of those out there seeking assistance are very familiar with it. We see reoccurring applicants, and it's been a great program. Helps people out. Obviously, with limited funds available, it's been more challenging. A few years ago, they would provide assistance for those that were just having challenges, maybe a little bit late on their bills. Now, the assistance goes to those that are in more dire need, subject to having their utilities terminated, and that type of thing. But it's a great program, and they do a good job, and we work well with them.
Thank you. Is there a motion tonight to execute that agreement?
So moved.
Motion, Alderman Radke, second, Alderman Sapienza. All in favor?
Aye.
Any other new business or council have anything to add? Petitions, communications.
We just have one, Your Honor, that's from LaSalle Peru Township High School requesting permission to hold their annual homecoming parade on Thursday, September 20th at 4 o'clock, and asking them to put no parking signs around Rotary Park, which is where they stage the units.
Okay.
I'll make a motion with grant permission.
Alderman Ferrari has a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Ballard with a second. Any thoughts? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any other petitions?
No further communications, Your Honor.
Residents, is there any public comment tonight? Anything you have on your mind? Okay. No need for a closed session. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved, Your Honor.
Alderman Ferrari, second, Alderman Radke. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.